Hello, grade 8. Today we are going to be learning about the discriminant and what the discriminant is and how we can use it to determine how many solutions a quadratic equation has. Okay, so the first thing I want you to note, I'm actually on textbook page 654. All right, this is the quadratic formula, minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, so what I want you to note here is that underneath the square root, I have b squared minus 4ac. b squared minus 4ac is called the discriminant. Okay, so this, when I say discriminant, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about what is under the square root here. That's what I have here in pink. Okay, so b squared minus 4ac. That is the discriminant. That, depending on the answer, when we solve it, is going to tell us if the quadratic equation has one solution, two solutions, or no solution. Okay, what I want you to remember is this, right? If we have a coordinate plane, if we have a coordinate plane right here, and another one here, and then another one here. Okay, so obviously I'm just sketching that out. Okay, if we have a quadratic equation that's a parabola, right? If it has one solution, that means that the vertex of the parabola lies directly on the x-axis. So for example, if this were my quadratic equation, this would be what? One solution, right? Because the vertex lies on the x-axis. Okay, in this example here, if I have a parabola, when I look at my x-axis, this intersects here and here. So I have two solutions. So this is one solution. This is an example of two solutions. And then no solution would be, say, my parabola opens downward here. Okay, and it doesn't intersect the x-axis at all. This would be zero solutions. So when we're talking about a quadratic equation, we only have two options. They can have one real solution, two real solutions, or no real solutions. And I say real solutions because real solutions mean that they fall on the x-axis, okay? You'll learn about other types of solutions. We're not going to get into that now in Algebra 2. All right, so now that I just kind of gave you a background on the discriminant, let's take a look at what our textbook says about b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so this chart here, you guys, is from textbook page 654. This is showing you three different examples of the discriminant. Okay, so in this equation here, x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0, when we identify a, b, and c, and we substitute in for the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So all of these, we're going to be solving for the discriminant. When we solve the discriminant, we get 4. So when the discriminant is positive, which is greater than 0, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, right? When our discriminant is positive, we have two real solutions. That means that the function has two x-intercepts. So see here, 1, 2. When I solve, if I get exactly 0 for my discriminant, so here they substitute a, b, and c in for b squared minus 4ac. They substitute and solve, and they get 0. When the discriminant is 0, that means we have one real solution. That means the vertex lies directly on the x-axis. Okay, one real solution, one x-intercept. If my discriminant is negative, so here we substitute and solve b squared minus 4ac, we get negative 4. If the discriminant is less than 0 or negative, that means we have no real solutions. There's no x-intercepts. So if I look across my x-axis here, okay, my parabola doesn't ever intersect the x-axis, and therefore we have no real solutions. Okay, so this shows you, depending on the discriminant, if it's positive, if the discriminant is positive, we have two real solutions. If the discriminant equals exactly 0, we have one real solution. And then if the discriminant is negative, think negative, no real solutions. Okay, so example 3 says, find the number of solutions using the discriminant. Guys, what I want you to notice is we're not solving for this, okay? We're not coming up with the solutions, all right? All we're doing here is telling the number of solutions based on the discriminant, okay? So for this example, 3x squared plus 10x plus 2, all right, step 1, I'm just going to identify a, b, and c. So a equals 3, b equals positive 10, and C equals positive 2. Okay, now I'm going to use the discriminant to solve. Okay, so my discriminant, again, if we look over here on my chart, discriminant here is b squared minus 4ac. Guys, these key concepts here you should have written down in your notebook. You have to memorize this quadratic formula, then you need to know this chart here. Okay, so again, my discriminant, I said, is b squared minus 4ac. All right, so I'm going to put parentheses around my variables. All right, and then I'm going to solve. So in place of b, right, I'm going to put 10. So 10 squared minus 4 times a is 3, and times c is 2. Okay, now I'm just going to simplify this. What is 10 squared? 10 squared is 100. Okay, and then negative 4 times 3 gives me negative 12. And then negative 12 times 2 gives me negative 24. Okay, so my discriminant here, when I solve this, 100 minus 24 equals what? 76. Okay, 76 is obviously greater than 0. It's positive. So if I look over here, okay, my discriminant is positive. So if, again, my discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, is greater than 0 or positive, then the equation has two real solutions. So that's my answer here. Two real solutions. Okay, my next example is 9 squared minus 6x plus 1. They want us to find the number of solutions for this quadratic equation, okay? So again, I'm going to identify a, b, and c. Okay, so a equals 9, b equals negative 6, and c equals positive 1. Now I'm going to use the discriminant to solve, to find out my number of solutions. So b squared minus 4 times a times c, parentheses, okay, equals what? So in place of b, here I'm going to put negative 6. In place of a, I'm putting 9. And in place of c, I'm putting 1. So now I just need to solve this. I'm going to solve going down. So negative 6 squared, right? Order of operations, exponents first. Negative 6 times negative 6 gives me 36. Negative 4 times 9 is negative 36. Negative 36 times 1 gives me negative 36. Again, guys, order of operations, exponents first, then, right, this would be 36 here. Right, minus 4 times 9 times 1. You don't want to subtract these first, okay? Order of operations says exponents, which we just did. Now you got to multiply. So negative 4 times 9 is negative 36. Negative 36 times 1 gives you negative 36. 36 minus 36, I don't know why I put that there. 36 minus 36 equals what? 0. Okay, so if b squared minus 4ac equals 0, the equation has what? One real solution. So my answer here is one real solution. Again, they want to know the number of solutions. Your answer is 1, 2, or none. Okay, here we have one real solution as our answer. Okay, my next example here, right, I'm on example 3c, says x squared plus x plus 1 equals 0. Find the number of solutions using the discriminant. All right, so I'm going to identify a, b, and c. So a here equals 1, right? There's an imaginary 1 here in front of x squared, so that's 1. B is positive 1. So again, if I put a 1 there and 1 there, okay, b is positive 1, and c equals 1. Well then, all right, so now I'm going to use the discriminant. So I have b squared minus 4ac. I'm going to put parentheses around my variables and then substitute. So in place of b, I put 1. In place of a, I put 1. And in place of c, I put 1. Now I'm going to simplify and solve. So what's 1 squared? 1. What's negative 4 times 1? Times 1. So negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. So then we subtract. What's 1 minus 4? Negative 3. Okay? So my discriminant is negative 3. If my discriminant is negative 3, that means it's less than 0. It's a negative number. So I want you to think negative is no. Negative means no real solution. So my answer here is no real solutions. That's my answer. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. We're almost done, you guys. I'm going to do one more video on solving using different methods, okay? So if you have any questions, let me know. Have a fabulous day.